Alright, welcome to part 5. This one I want us to get a little bit more comfortable with types. Now here's my program directory file. I just call it YouTube for YouTube. I got enemy 1, log, and I have a second enemy. Let's call it enemy 2. Now see, the crazy thing about this guy is he's got two pictures on him. This is known as animated sprite. What we're going to do is I'm gonna try to animate them in this video. I might not because of time, but I'll show you how to upload them and what it all means. Now here's just here's just the basic enemy image and player image or images, whatever. Now let's upload an animated sprite. To do it, let's name it something. So I'm gonna call it it's called Pizza Pig. You can call yours whatever you want. If you want to make one, basically when you're making them, I should have brought this up before. Both pictures have to have an equal width and length. So for this guy, he's in an invisible box right now, which is surrounded by a ugly gray background, and this guy is in an invisible box as well. Both are distance apart from here and from the edges are both exact same. When you're doing an animated image, both of them have to be exactly the same, or else it's not going to pop up properly. I'll show you how to make animated images on Paint later, but today, in this tutorial, I want to get everyone more comfortable with types. So that's for another lesson. So anyway, that will equal load animated, short for animated, just ANIM, image, and then you want to name or get the name of it, which is it's enemy 2, and mine's is a bitmap. If you're using the demo, I believe you're only allowed to use bitmaps. If you're using the full version, then you can use any type of image you want. Alright, and you have to get the length and width of a single image. So let's go to his dimensions. Here is 110 by 58. Since the X is twice as big, because there's two images, you just divide that by 2. So that's basically 55. So it's 55 by, forgot the height to him. Wrong one. 58. Okay. Then you want to put the frame that he starts on. Each individual picture in the animated sprite is a frame. So that's frame 1, frame 2. And since 0 is actually 1 to the computer, that's actually frame 0. And that's frame 1. Kind of confusing, but once you get used to it, it's whatever. Then there's 2 pictures inside that sprite. So even though 0 is 1, for some reason for this and only this area, 1 actually equals 1. So there's 2 frames inside that sprite. And this is the original length and width. So let me write that down real quick. So basically you want to, inside the parentheses, you want to do load image, and it goes like this: name of image, comma, you want those in quotes, then you want the original width, and then the original height, and then just put this one 0. That's just the starting frame, and then how many frames are in the image. Frames. There you go. And that's what it is. Okay, cool. Alright, so we got that. Now, the reason why I put that, and by the way, let's add a new field. And this one's going to be called frame. Okay, so let me check out let me show you what we can do with that now. Inside here, and this is the if statement, the if create enemy 0, we create the enemies. Inside here, I'm going to create another one just like this, so you can just copy and paste. Copy, and paste it. And we're going to change the name of the enemy image to a different one. This shows you, or this will show you how to have different looking enemies, but they'll have similar traits, but that's fine. I'll teach you how to break the rules another time. It's not today. Pizza pick, I believe I called it. And then we're gonna place them a little bit more to the right. So let's do 400. Let's place this one the same Y as that one, and then the E1 slash frame will equal 0. I don't even have to put that. If it equals 0, it's gonna be by default 0 anyway. But just to prove a point, we're gonna do that. Run it, and I didn't mask the image. There you have it. Let me mask that real quick. When you mask an animated sprite, it's masked the same way you would with a basic image. So mask image pizza pick, comma 120, 120, 120, and I know that because I always use that specific tint of gray for my backgrounds, just because I don't really like it. One of the more common ones is actually that really bright green. They use it for green screens too. Same tint. So when you run it, we have a bunch of enemies just going to the right like a bunch of brainless idiots. So cool. There's my pizza guy. Alright, now one last thing I'm going to show you is just how to work with frames. Here we made the frame equal 0. Now copying this and pasting it right here. We make that equal 2. Oh man, okay, let's see. Let's put that 5 and put this as a 4. Okay, cool. Oh, no, not 2. 1. 0 equals 1. 1 equals 2. Kind of confusing, but when we run it, we're going to have two different looking pizza guys. See? Oh no, it didn't work. And the reason why it didn't work is because I forgot to explain how to draw animated sprites. Draw animated sprites the same way as this, except after this you put a comma and then the number of the frame. So 0, 1, 2, 3. You can't go over the amount of frames that are actually in the picture. In this case, there's only 2, so we can't go over 2, or in this case 1. But what I'm going to put is just that frame. There. Now it'll work. So there, we have two pizza heads going on. We have one right here and one right there. Two different images. Alright, cool. So now you know how to put up different looking enemies doing the same stupid thing. Okay, so anyway, let's get rid of this because this was just to show how to make that work. What I want to do is, let me run it real quick and explain, is let's create a game, and we're going to have to reposition him because that's too close, but let's create a game where you're basically your main character, whatever he is, whatever he looks like. I'm just going to use my trademark Zog. I'm going to have to speed him up, and basically the enemies are going to chase after him and you want to run from them. This will teach you how to work with computer artificial intelligence. The funny thing is, I haven't seen a single tutorial on YouTube that actually teaches this. So, well then again, I don't watch tutorials on YouTube, but when I was first learning and I needed a little bit of help on certain things, none of the videos on YouTube really did help me. So, maybe I'm not helpful either, but whatever. Okay, so anyway, now, let's find out. Okay, see, here's the player. Player image, along with the player X and the player Y. So these are going to be the most important variables right here, the X and Y. I'm going to pick up the speed a little bit more, so the speed equals 2. I'm going to make it probably 5, so that way it runs. And as we look here, see, Y equals Y. If I push the down key, it's going to make them go down by 5. Variables are really amazing stuff. Okay. Now to make enemies actually chase the player, I have 4 that'll be chasing me, so that'll be kind of crazy. The only unfortunate thing is when we're doing this, they're all probably going to overlap each other and go the same direction. It's not going to be a huge variety, but we'll work with that later. Let's start with just simple code. Let's do a little demonstration, though my demonstrations aren't always the best, but whatever. Let's pick this up, draw a line. Okay. No, I don't know why I drew that line. Okay, so imagine that this is my character. There he is. And imagine that this is the enemy. There he is. And let's fill that in. Yeah. It's fun messing with paint. Okay, anyway, to get more serious, if he's farther from the player and the coordinates, the graph goes something like this. Let's make a black one. This is how the graph looks. The strange graph. It's funny because when you work with 3D, everything else is back to that looks dumb. There we go. Okay, so if the graph goes like that, and as we're going this way, whoop, the points are getting larger, and as we go down, the points are getting larger on the y-axis. Undo that. If the player's x coordinate is greater than his x coordinate, then you want to add to this x coordinate so he comes towards the player. So let's go work with that right now. I hope that made sense, because I kind of just skimmed through that. Basically, it's just an if statement. If x is greater than the enemy x's, oh, no, it's not x. If that player x is greater than the enemy's x coordinate, then you want to actually add to the player's x coordinate, or the enemy x coordinate. So that equals E1, and you add to the coordinates as if you're adding to your player coordinates. So it's all the same. You're just working with this type variable, and this is what separates the type with the individual coordinates or variables, what do you want to call them. Okay, so let's make them super slow right now and do a +1 and end that if, and then if x is actually less than, so that meaning, let's go back to my sad drawing. Let's make a box, and in this case it's brown. So if the enemy is right here, and look at these guys, they're just totally dominating our character right here. If he's right here, that means his x coordinate, let's have a pencil, his x coordinate is greater than his. We want to subtract from his x coordinate, so he comes towards the player. So let's do that right now. I hope these visuals help. If not, just tell me to stop doing stupid visuals. And in this case, we're going to subtract from their x coordinate. Now, since we're not since we're not messing with the y coordinates, they're not going to come down towards the player, so the player will actually be safe. So they're all going to start chasing my player right now. Oh my god! Look at that! Isn't that awesome? Cool. So we have some stupid idiot enemies chase. Oh, see, look. Oh, that's cute. They're kind of holding each other. Okay, well anyway, enough on that. And we'll create several types, so we have a variety of different types of movements later. And I'll also teach you how to break the rules. But I don't know if I'm going to do it in this tutorial. Okay, anyway, cool, so we have that happening. A lot of fun, a lot of crazy stuff. Let's change the starting position of the player. I'm going to try to put it on the center of the screen since my resolution and the way the resolution works, graphics is like this. Yep. Graphics is like coordinate plane. It's 1000 by 600. That's 100. So the center would be 500 by 300, dividing both of those by 2. Okay. 500 by 300. That will actually probably give our player a little more of an even advantage. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So that's working. Now let's do the same thing with the y coordinates. I'm gonna go back to my little picture. So since this guy is above the player, you want to add to his y coordinates because his y coordinates is greater. Okay, well I don't know what I'm doing, but anyway, his y coordinates is greater than enemies, so you want to add to the enemy so he catches up with the player. So let's go back to our enemy instructions, which is right here. There we go. Okay. If y is greater than e1/y, then you want to add to his that didn't make any sense. You want to do it here. Then you want to add to his y coordinates, so that way he catches up with the player. And if the enemy is kind of too far, if he's too low below the character, so in this case, if the enemy is down here, and once we have all this code down, they'll start going diagonal for you. Basically, thanks to that instruction types, all the enemies inside that loop will do all the work for you. You don't even have to do any more code. You're already done. If he's below him, you want to go diagonal up, and his y coordinates are too high, so you got to subtract to his y coordinates. So let's do that right now. If y is actually less than e1/y, then you want to subtract from his y coordinates. e1/y minus 1, and if alright, cool. So we have a full-blown game kind of going on. Nothing happens if they touch you, but see, one thing is I can get them connected like that. There. You do the same. Be tricky about it. Okay, I'm not sure how clearly that shows up on the computer with just some type of free cam thing I downloaded a while back ago, but for me, that works just fine the way I see it. Okay, anyway, there we go. Now we have some AI going on. This is all known as computer AI or artificial intelligence. So now they're working on their own. You don't even have to do anything anymore, except for kill the player. But I don't know how much time I've spent on this tutorial. Let's go check. A lot of time. 1,069 seconds. I'm not sure how much time that is because I don't feel like doing any more math, and I already have. But there you go. You learned how to put different types of images on, have the enemy chase him. You do a couple things with that. There's one more piece of code I really need to teach you to actually have a game do something, but unfortunately we're gonna wait until the next video because you can do a whole bunch of things on it, and it takes a lot of explaining. So just bear with me on this one. I hope you enjoyed this one. The next tutorial is coming hopefully tomorrow or later today. Alright, I'll see you guys later.